Okay, so we're learning likute Halachos Hilchos Birchos hashacher, and we're up to Ois Tes. Right? We ended off last week. We were talking the importance of Birchos HaTorah. Oh, good morning, good morning. Welcome here. As your things are all set up. All right, and we were learning the importance of saying Brachos HaTorah because Brachos HaTorah is what separates us from all of the other nations of the world, and how important it is, and how we must always feel. So it's a special thing that we have to say Brachos HaTorah because this is a privilege that we have that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us via Moshe Rabbeinu, and we know that Moshe Rabbeinu is standing being Shmad L'Ratzah. We're just beginning now on test. Okay, now V'zeu Chatzos Laila Okum L'Heidos L'Cha Al Mishpatei Tzidkecha. So this is David HaMelech writes in Tehillim. You know, David HaMelech, we know, always got up for Chatzos Laila. We know that David HaMelech had his kinar, his harp, that the northerly wind would blow, and it would cause him to get up, and that was the precise moment of Chatzos. And David HaMelech would get up, and he would say Tikkun Chatzos at that time, and then he would also say Shiras and Shibachos to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lo Haidos L'Alach Al Mishpatei Tzidkecha Zeh Bechinas Birchos HaTorah. Blessing HaKadosh Baruch Hu, giving praise to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Haidah to Hashem. This is what Birchos HaTorah is all about, giving Haidah to Hashem. Shemevarchen Ameidim L'Shmayis Baruch Hashem Baruch Abanim Mikol Amim V'Nasan Lanu Es Tayrosei. That we praise the Rebbeinu Shalom, that He chose us from all the other nations, and He gave us His Torah. Shehem Mishpatei Tzidkoi. These are the righteous. These are the righteous laws. These are the righteous laws. Zel bechinas chatzos laila okim lahaydos l'cha. Ki kimas chatzos u'birchos HaTorah heim bechinas achas. Really, Birchos HaTorah and getting up at chatzos, praising the Rebbeinu Shalom at chatzos, tikkun chatzos, and Birchos HaTorah is really one of the same. Why? Ki al-yedei zeh ma'orim an nekuda ha'tova shebai mikedushas Yisrael shu bechinas Moshe. See, we have to always remember. And that was what we said last week with the Navi Yirmiyah. He didn't understand why is the Beis HaMikdash being destroyed? What's going on over here? And he asked the Chachamim, and he asked the Nevi'im, other Nevi'im, and they couldn't answer him until the Baskel came out that said that Shalai Birchos HaTorah. And then he understood, because if we realize that we are connected, the Kedusha of Yisrael is connected back to Moshe Rabbeinu, that we understand that we are connected back to Moshe Rabbeinu, and it's Moshe Rabbeinu that gave us HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Torah, and that's our privilege to learn Torah. So that is what the whole praise is, Asher Baruch Banu Mikol Oam. Aidei Zeh Hu Nivdal Min Ha'amim, and that's what separates us from all the other nations. Umin Ha'ro Shelahem, and all of the evil that's found within the nations of the world.
But that never caught
yes?
on, dabbing in the mirror of the night, that never really caught on, though, did it?
Did what?
That never really caught on by people doing that. David HaMelech did that. But, in terms of getting up...
It's interesting. There are many groups of Yidden in Eretz Yisrael. There's a group in Lakewood that get up and they meet at Chatzos.
They do?
And yes, there are groups of Jews today. There's a Kol Chatzos, exactly. No. But also, like we were saying when we were learning a few weeks ago, if you get up at night, you can always take the benefit to wash. Then you could say Birchos HaTorah, like we're learning here at Chatzos. You say the Birchos HaTorah. You could say Tikkun Chatzos, and then if you're tired, you can go back to sleep. There's nothing wrong with that, but you can accomplish all of this. It doesn't take that long.
Yeah, but then in the morning you have to say Brachos Torah again.
No, it depends how long you slept for and if you had in mind. If you had in mind to that this Brachos HaTorah. Let me ask you a question. When you take a nap during the day, you take a nap.
Oh no, then you know.
So okay, what's the difference? If it's after Chatzos already, that's already the next day.
So for that matter, let's say.
Yes.
The sun gets dark at 7:00. So that's the next day too.
No, no. Of course, no. Wait 1 second. Hold on. But if you stay, you don't say. No one says Birchos HaTorah if they went through the day and it's now the night and they didn't go to sleep. No one's going to say Birchos HaTorah.
No, not then.
No. So here we're saying here that
okay.
if a person, if you decide to take a nap at 10 o'clock in the morning, or you take a nap at 4 o'clock in the morning, what's the difference?
No.
But we're saying that's the same thing.
Okay.
In other words, it doesn't matter when you decide to take a nap. If you're taking a nap, you take a nap.
So Birchos HaTorah is for a 24-hour period.
It's
from when you said it.
From when you say, if you say when you go to bed at night, you say I'm going to sleep now. You say Kriya Shema Lamita.
Right.
So then once you finish saying Kriya Shema Lamita, when you get up again, now you have to say Birchos HaTorah.
Okay.
You ended your day. You officially end your day. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's a very important point. But that's a very important point. But so again, we could take this. We could benefit by this in the way we can. Right? Ultimately, the best thing is you get up and you say Birchos HaTorah, you say Tikkun Chatzos, you have a little isbaitis, you say Tehillim, you learn some halacha, you learn this, and then you start and you daven by Chatzos, and you daven by Nates. I mean, that's Layla, if we can do that. Right? But if you can't do that, so don't say I'm not going to do anything. Right? If you can't do that, if you can't do the best, okay, so at least be part of it in the way you can be part of it.
Yeah.
All right? And that includes us to the aspect of the Ratzon. We said that Klal Yisrael, we have Ratzon Hashem, we do the Ratzon Hashem, Ratzon, which is Moshe Rabbeinu is standing between Ratzon and Shema, the Ratzon. And therefore, Tikkun Chatzos, getting up at Chatzos, and saying Brachos HaTorah, those two are connected one in the other. Okay? Now, leather yud. This is a beautiful thing that we're going to learn now. B'chol zehu b'chinas Pesach isur chametz u'mitzvahs achilas matzah. So on Pesach we have the isur of eating chametz, but we have the mitzvah for 7 days eating the matzah, right? But don't eat this. You can't eat this, but you should eat this, right? There's no difference between chametz and matzah, only the mashu. What is that? Chametz is spelled ches mem tzadik, right? And matzah is spelled mem tzadik hey. So if you take, only the hey. The hay separates from the ches is that little space. That little tiny nekuda difference is what the difference is. Ein bein chametz l'matzah el mashu. That little mashu between, if you scratch off from the ches a little piece from the top where it connects on the left side, so then it becomes a hay.
If it bakes for more than 18 minutes,
so then it becomes chametz.
18
minutes and 10 seconds, 2 seconds.
Okay,
That's finished.
That's
the mashu. Oh, beautiful. Shemashu hu bechinas hanekuda kedusha. That mashu is the nekuda, is the little yud, the little mashu. A yud is a little mashu, right? Bechinas Moshe shoyme bein shmad l'rotzen. Moshe Rabbeinu is standing between shmad l'rotzen. We said that really it's not so different. It's not that hard to misconstrue. Someone can misconstrue things, very finely, and he can find up being in the shmad.
Shema means
going to the other side, to the goyim and following the chukas hagoyim.
From the shorish lahashmid to eliminate.
Yes, to separate. To eliminate.
Eliminating yourself.
Ki muva bechol asfarim shechametz bePesach ubechinas avodah zara el acher kfiros. All the svarim bring down that chametz is so severe on Pesach is compared to avodah zara. It's so severe. No one would ever think, chas v'shalom, of serving avodah zarah. So the same way, the Svarim are teaching us that chametz on Pesach is mamish like avodah zarah. It's scary, right? Zeh bechinas shmad, bechinas zuamas or tumas mitzrayim, sheim bechinas klal hashivim oidei kechavim. Well, look at that. Mitzrayim was the metropolis at the time.
Yeah.
Right, at that time when we were there, that was the metropolis. And in the metropolis they had all the different avodah zaras.
Yeah.
Remember we learned that Pari had his telephone book of Avodah Zarahs.
Yeah.
So Moshe Rabbeinu said, Hashem sent me. So he looked him up. I don't see him in my book.
Yeah.
He's not in my book.
Yeah.
I have all the guys, right? So you see what he says? Sheheim bechinas kalala shiv ma'idei kechavim. They had all the Eidei Kechavim, the whole world that they represented this in Mitzrayim. V'Yisrael nivcharu oz mehem la'am sigula. But when we were there in that place with all the different avodas and all of those things, Hashem chose us, right? It said b'ni b'chayri Yisrael. Where? In Mitzrayim. Yeah. When we're in Mitzrayim, he didn't say b'ni b'chayri Yisrael when we were on Har Sinai. He told us when we were in Mitzrayim, when we were in the lowest place possible. So Ratzon, we're equating Ratzon to matzah. Between the Ratzon and Shema, there's such a small difference. Between the same way of matzah and chametz, is such a small difference between just a little piece from the hay. You add a little piece to the hay, you get a chametz, you get a ches. And that's chametz. You take away that little spot, and that's the hay, and there's the matzah. So that's the ein bein chametz l'matzah or elamashu. Okay, let's turn the page now. Okay, the Pesach, the Tchilas is Karvis Yisrael Aviyim Shebeshemayim. Also a chametz be'isur chomer miyoid be'bal yiro b'al yimotzei. It's a very strange thing when it comes to Pesach, right? You know, the chametz, you can't see it, you can't find it. It's strange, right? You know, other things, if a person, you know, it has something that's not kosher in his house, whatever, if someone mailed you something, whatever, you're allowed to look at it.
Right, yeah.
You're allowed to look at it, you're allowed to have it, it's not a problem. You just can't eat it. You can't eat it. But on Pesach, it's very strange. About Yiro, about Yimotzah, that's the din. You can't see it and you can't find it. It can't be in your possession at all. But after Kriyas Yamsuf, then the chametz was mated to us. We were allowed to eat the chametz. They're allowed to eat the chametz. Do you remember we said last week why? Because the Mitzrayim were drowned. Meis al Svas Hayam. And when the Mitzrayim was Meis al Svas Hayam, we realized that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was the ones that saved us, and we got rid of all the kfir and all of the garbage from the Mitzrayim that was in our mind. And we realized it's only Einayid Milvadi, it's only HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Of Yeshua's man matan tereseinu mevin chametz daikel lekarben shtei alechem. When it came to Shuas, right? When it came to Shuas, then we would bring the carbon of the shnei alechem. When it came to Pesach, when we brought the karbanos of Pesach, we brought only the barley. We brought barley, which is Michael Behema. Today we eat barley, but really the Chazal say that's Michael Behema. Right? Okay, Michael Behema. And no, but when it comes to Shavuos, we worked all through Sfiras HaOmer to purify ourselves, to go out from the 49 levels of impurity to the 49 levels of purity. Each day we leave behind one level of impurity, we elevate ourselves to another level of impurity each day of till we get to Shavuos, and then on Shavuos now we can properly take the chametz and engage the chametz properly.
Lechem Mishnah?
No. The shtei alechem was okay. We know that there's something called yashan, right? So what does yashan mean?
Old?
Yeah. It's old. So what is it?
Before
so in other words,
Omer.
exactly. Before the carbon Omer, you couldn't eat it until they brought the carbon Omer, which was the shtei alechem. Then all the wheat was then mated. We were able to use the wheat. So you had to wait for it then. Okay?
That was shtei alechem.
Then we brought the shtei alechem on Shavuos specifically. Kikar agulim mitzrayim umikol agolias mechol is karvis Yisrael Hashem Yisbarach hu al yedei bechinas pidyonos shu bechinas hamtokas hadinim. Through us being HaKadosh Baruch Hu is paid us. He redeemed us from the servitude of Mitzrayim. Right? We were stuck in Mitzrayim. They didn't let us go. But it was only when HaKadosh Baruch Hu did his great miracles to get us out of Mitzrayim. That was the pidyon. Hashem was paid us to get out of Mitzrayim. Hashem was paid us. Remember, that's why we're Avdei Hashem, because Hashem was the one that redeemed us from the being as slaves to Mitzrayim. So Mamela, since Hashem redeemed us, we're Avdei Hashem. We became we belong to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Shayidei Pada Yisanim Mitzrayim. Hashem took us out and redeemed us from Mitzrayim. K'mayche Kosev v'hapaydcha mi beis avodim. It says in Dvarim. In the same way, Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim. That was a tremendous side that all the Klal Yisrael was in. Right? All the Klal Yisrael. We learned that the Levium, they weren't part of the servitude, right? But they were so pained by watching what was going on. I mean, the Levium were pained by seeing that their brothers were being tortured. They were pained, and we learned and we said that the Levium really wanted to go help them, and the Klal Yisrael said, no, don't go, because we know it's only because you're going to learn Torah, because you're going to sit there and learn Torah. We know that's the only way we're going to get out of here. So everyone was in pain. They were all in pain. So the same way Hashem took us out of that great tzar, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the same Einay Milvadai today, and Hashem takes us out of all of our tzaras, and He's paid us from all of our tzaras. We say that in the Brachos of Gal Yisrael when we're saying Shemay Esra. We remind ourselves, Paideinu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is paid us, right? Umatzilenu, and saves us, He rescues us, because it's Me'olam Hu Shemecha. And we right now we're Mekaveh, we're longing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should take us out and be paid to us now from this Golas Hamar, from all the rights that are in the world that want to take, that hurt the old innocent, pure, beautiful Jewish people in the world. Hashem, we want Hashem to save us. Gula Shleima Leman Shemai. But the Gula Shleima should be only for HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name. Leman Shemai. In other words, we learned, we say in Yeshiva Beseis, right? Imay Anoichi B'tzara. Imay Anoichi B'tzara. What does it mean, Imay Anoichi B'tzara? Hashem is with me in this tzara. Hashem, look, I have this problem going on right now in my life, and I need help. So if it's not for my sake, that I should get out, Hashem, you're with me in this. So Hashem, for your sake, Leman Shemai, let's get out of this mess.
Because Hashem is in tzar when a person.
Of course.
So to get yourself out of it, tzar.
Exactly. K'maisha Kasam, B'hu Yiftas Yisrael. We're waiting for that. B'hu Yiftas Yisrael, or maybe Goyal of Nevinei and Leman Shemai, and the Kodesh Baruch Hu brings Geula to his children, Leman Shemai. The Iker Hu HaPidyon HaElyon HaKoilel. The main thing is the Iker HaPidyon HaElyon. What is that? Shua Yedei Bechinas Istalkus Moshe, Yedei Bechinas Eitz Rotzen, the Bechinas Rava de Ravin. You know, we say on by Mincha, we say Tzidkoscha, right?
Yeah.
And we say it 3 times. Right? You know, there's three paragraphs there, we say it, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't know why we say it 3 times? The Sfarim say it's Keneged 3 people that passed away at that specific time on Shabbos.
David HaMelech was one?
David HaMelech was one, and Moshe Rabbeinu, and Yosef HaTzadik. Yosef and Moshe and David HaMelech all passed away that time because they knew the secret of Raiva the Raven.
Did they pass away like Mincha Shabbos?
Mincha, yeah, that's the time of Shalosh Shuddis. Rava the Raven.
Right.
It's the most endearment, the friendship time between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rava the Raven. That's the most endearment, the showing of endearment on Shabbos is that time.
And
now,
they passed away that time?
Specifically at that time, because they knew the secret of that time. That's the most special time. That's the time of it, which is known as Metzach HaRotzen. That time is connected to Metzach HaRotzen. You know, in Shemayim, there are 24 different courthouses. Right? There are 24. There are Chav Daled Batei Dinim in Shemayim. Now, and all of the dinim are the ones that issue judgments for us for different things and so on. But if you can get past the 24 courthouses, and you can get to the higher place, and you can get to the higher place, which is Metzach HaRotzen in Shemayim, which is the highest place. That's the time of Rava the Raven. That's that time of Shalosh Shuddis. We can tap into that place. And that's what it means, that's the pidyon of all pidyonim, because that place of Eis Ratzon, of when you get to that place of, and that's why we say by Mincha, Vanis Filosi L'cha Hashem Eis Ratzon. We don't say that any other time. You don't say that during the week. You don't say that in the morning. But you say on Shabbos by Mincha, Vanis Filosi L'cha Hashem Eis Ratzon, because that is the Eis Ratzon. That is the Eis Ratzon, which is connected to Ravid the Ravid.
That's all we say it on Yontif.
Okay.
On Yontif, when in the morning when we take out.
Yontif is a different aspect.
Oh, okay,
We're learning now Shabbos. We're going to get to Yontif soon. Okay. Is battling the Nimtakim Kol Adinim through this place of Ravid the Ravid, which is Moshe Rabbeinu. Again, why are we bringing Moshe Rabbeinu in? Because it's Torah's Moshe. And we're saying the importance of making the Birchos HaTorah. Asher Barchabona Mikol Oam. Moshe Rabbeinu is the one that gave us the Torah, and Moshe Rabbeinu has taught us that we are the ones that are chosen Mikol Oam. It's fascinating. And that is the Amtakim Mikol Adinim, to remind ourselves to always connect back to Moshe Rabbeinu. To connect ourselves back to Torah, which connects ourselves, of course, back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu as the Einaid Milvade. Now, Avalika Zois Hamtaka, V'zeh HaPidyon, B'tachlis HaShleimus, Yirak B'vias Mashiach, Shu Moshe. When we're waiting for the final pidyon, right? Right? Rak B'vias Mashiach, Shu Moshe. So Moshe Rabbeinu was the first redeemer for Klal Yisrael, right?
Yeah, sure.
Moshe Rabbeinu was the first redeemer. We were stuck in Mitzrayim, and he got us out. He got us the Torah. So even though we're waiting for Mashiach ben David, but really it goes back to Moshe Rabbeinu, because Moshe Rabbeinu was the first. Moshe Rabbeinu was the first one to give us a redemption, to redeem us, right? Shenemar vad atik yoimin mitah levush. Tislag chivar. He explains, Shesham hu bechinas Ravid the Ravin kayadua. That's the secret of Ravid the Ravin, that we can every week we can tap in at Shalosh Shudas. We can dive into our HaKadosh Baruch Hu at that time. We have a clear audience with our HaKadosh Baruch Hu at that time. There's the most time of endearment to ask the Rebbeinu, to beg the Rebbeinu for things that we need in Ruchnius and we have it's the most beneficial time to request. Kayadua v'shvil zeh me'ain Moshe b'shlichusay harbe v'ama shalach no b'yad tishlach. By the snare. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, I want you to go. Moshe Rabbeinu is protesting.
Yes.
He says, don't take me, it's not me, I can't talk. He gave it's such a long conversation. He doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
Why did he not want to go? Why did Moshe Rabbeinu not want to go? Ki yadei ani, she'eini goy olam lasid. Moshe Rabbeinu understood that I may be able to come and get them out of Mitzrayim now, but I'm not going to be the one that's going to get them to the final Gula. This is only a stepping stone. This is not the final Gula. K'may sheperish Rashi Shu midivrei Rabbi Seinu Zal ki yada she'ein b'koichei ligmar pidyon hazeh b'shleimus. He understood that he doesn't have within him the wherewithal in order to bring about the final Gula. Yes, you see this? Moshe Rabbeinu said, I can help the Jewish people. But why Hashem take somebody that can help the Jewish people and bring them to the final pidyon? I can't do that, he said. Again, Moshe Rabbeinu is under Mikol Adam. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, I'm not the right man for this job, Hashem. I can only bring them to a certain pidyon. I can get them out of this now, but I can't bring them to the final Shlema.
So for that matter, who was there anyone in that generation who could have gone
perhaps
done that?
Perhaps Moshe Rabbeinu thought that Aaron HaKohen was more suited for the job. Why are you picking me?
And let's say he would have done it. So
we don't know.
So would he have been able to?
We don't know. No, we don't know. But Moshe Rabbeinu saw. That's what we're learning. That Moshe Rabbeinu saw that he wasn't going to be the one to bring us to the final Gula. That's Moshe Rabbeinu saw that.
Yeah. Okay.
So he said, so if I can't bring them to the final Gula, why should I even get started with this? But what happened? Kama ki'im la'acher estalkusay she estalik lisham. But it was only after his histalkus, after Moshe Rabbeinu left the world, and he left the world at that specific time of Ravid the Ravin. at that specific time, because he understood that's the place of pidyon. That's the real Geula comes from that place. Through all the kfira and all the din and all of the problem that Saras that Klal Yisrael have, that we experience on a daily basis. Because at that time in Moshe Rabbeinu's life, he didn't take us completely from Shmad L'Ratzon. We were still having trouble. Right, the Yidden in the Midbar, we had trouble with Avodah Zarah. During the Nevi'im, right, during Yeshua's time and Shmuel and everything, there were problems with Avodah Zarah. So when Moshe Rabbeinu says, I can help the Jewish people, I can't take them from literally to get them completely from Shmad L'Ratzon. I can't do that. Aval Hashem Yisbarach Hichrichoi Leilech. Hashem, the Kadosh Baruch Hu, so to say, twisted his arm. Hichrichoi Leilech. You're going to go. Hashem said, I want you to go. I'm choosing you. You need to go. V'yevtichoi, and he promised him she'afal pichein yigal es Yisrael v'yizkul lekabel es atayr b'shuas. He promised HaKadosh Baruch Hu promised him that I'm going to take them out of Golas. I'm going to take them out of this Mitzrayim, and we're going to give them the Torah and Truas. When I take them out of Mitzrayim, they're going to serve me. They're going to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hainu she'evticho she'yekablu es haTorah b'shuas. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, he made the promise to him that I'm going to give them the Torah and Shuas. We're going to come, they're going to get out of Mitzrayim, and I'm going to give them the Torah and Shuas. And when Moshe Rabbeinu said, "Wow," and Moshe Rabbeinu understood that the Torah is the true antidote to get us to the final Geula. So even though Moshe Rabbeinu said himself he can't do it, but he understood that if I could be the conduit to bring the Torah in the world, so then that'll help them to get to the final Geula.
So I'll do it. I'll be the one to do it
to help.
So then he saw that he would really be.
He saw how important it was that he was going to do it. And then he was Zaycha to this Haras HaRatzon, which we said is the Haras HaRatzon is the Rav of the Rav. Okay, the Mechilta brings that on Shavuos, when we saw HaKadosh Baruch Hu, whatever this means, but Hashem appeared to us to be a Zaken Malei Rachamim. Whatever that means. We know there's no demus of Hashem, but whatever how Hashem showed himself, whatever that means, he showed himself as to be a Zaken Malei Rachamim. On Shavuos, by Kabbalah Satayr. By Kabbalah Satayr. Shu Bechinas Eis Ratzon, because Kabbalah Satayr is really the Eis Ratzon. And when was Kabbalah Satayr? On Shabbos. Right? Kabbalah Satayr was on Shabbos. That was the Eis Ratzon. Shu Bechinas Shleish Esrei Tikuni Dedikna. That's compared. It's a Kabbalistic thing regarding the 13 points of the beard. On the beard there are 13 points. Okay. Kamuva beidra rabba bekavanesh b'shuas oilin l'sham ki ikar his karvas Yisrael Hashem Yisbarach Chaya b'shas matan Torah. The main connection, the main hiskarvas connection, closeness that Klal Yisrael had with HaKadosh Baruch Hu was by Maimed Hasina Kabbalah Satayra.
But you say it's Shabbos Kabbalah Satayra. That's every Shabbos. No.
No.
Well, there are those that there's a school of thought that says that when you're reading when you're listening to the Torah reading on Shabbos, that is a somewhat of a Kabbalah Satayra. And that's why we get up and we say Asher Bracha Badim Mikol Amim again. We make those brachas each time we say the Torah.
Right, yeah.
It's an aspect of Kabbalah Satayra. It's not actual Kabbalah, but it's an aspect of Kabbalah Satayra. Because on when it came to Shuas, right, when it came to Kabbalah Satayra, we were like Gerim, that we were maybe Megayer at that time.
You're right.
Kamei Perish Rashi, Shinis Gairu Ki Gerim Ayadei Hazor Utfila. Through the sprinkling, the Hazor, right, the sprinkling and the Tefillah.
mikvah.
Ve'ikar iskarvis hagerim hu al yedei bechinas pidyon. The main thing of the gerim is when they have a pidyon, they paid it, they redeem themselves from all the shmat, from all of the garbage that they're involved in. That's how they redeem themselves. Hayedei ze oilim mishmat lerotzen, and that's how they come up to rotzen. Hayedei Moshe shayad al yadoi niskayru v'yikabla Torah through Moshe Rabbeinu. We were misgayer and we were able to receive the Torah. So Moshe Rabbeinu didn't want to go. He said, "Why should I be the one to take the Jewish people out? I can't bring them to the Gula Shleim."
Anyway.
But HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him that don't worry, because you're on Shavuos, you're going to take them out, and then you're going to wait 49 days, and then I'm going to give them the Torah on the 50th day, which is going to be Shavuos. And then on Shavuos, we're going to have the Shtei Alechem. They're going to go from the chametz and to be matter all the wheat from the year. Right, all the wheat will become permitted to use after the Shtei Alechem, because before that we didn't purify ourselves before we finished the before we finished the Sfira. But once we finish the Sfira and we get to Shavuos, we're on a level that we can then engage ourselves in the bread, eating the bread properly, and then it shouldn't damage us spiritually.
Right. Yeah.
Now, Yud Aleph, Aval b'shas Yetzias Mitzrayim. We couldn't get to this place of Ratzon. We couldn't get to this place of Rava de Ravin before, when we came out, just at Kabbalah, when we left Mitzrayim, until we were ready. Because the Zoom, the filth of Mitzrayim, was still attached to us.
The filth?
Filth, yes. Erev Asaretz. We said that the Mitzrayim had all of the Avodah Zaros and everything, so it rubbed off on us, and it was still attached to us. Therefore, the gula, this gula getting out of time was very, very difficult. But Hashem Kodesh Baruch Hu illuminated for us a great mind. He gave us a great illumination. See, really, we weren't ready to go out of Mitzrayim. We weren't worthy to go out of Mitzrayim, and we know the Malachim was saying, "Look, they served the Avodah Zarah, and they served the Avodah Zarah. Why are you taking them out?" Right? That was the argument going on in Shemayim. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu went out of the Seder. He went out of the order, and He still took us out, because that was the chesed that Hashem did for us. But we didn't get up to the 13 points. Which is Eitz Ratzon ad Shavuos, until we came to Shavuos. Rak hagula hoisa yedei haaretz atzuma. Shall call Hamaychin. Hainu shagula hoisa yedei bechinas esrim va'arba minei pidyonos, through the 24 different pidyonos. We were paid there. We got rid of the 24, like I said to you before. There are 24 courthouses in Shemayim, the Chav Dalet, the Batei Dinim, and we got.
I'm sorry, pidyon means
to be redeemed.
To be redeemed. Oh, pidyon. Okay.
To be podas on is to redeem it. Yeah, Rak shenimchechu kulam ba'ara nifla, but we were all drawn with this ara nifla, with this wondrous illumination. Ki kol ha'pidyonos ha'vagulos shehem al yedei hamtakas adinim. All pidyon comes via hamtakas adin. There's a din, right? There's a din, and the din is causing the tzara. But when we're mamtik the din, when we sweeten that judgment, when we get out of that judgment, so mainly you have the geula from that problem. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, the best way to that you can really understand it, if a person is having a toothache, it's terrible, right? Terrible, right? So they could do two things, right? They can either pull the tooth out, so maybe if the tooth goes away, they take the roots out, and they do it, and it's going to go away, and the pain will go away. Right, or they can drill into the tooth, take out the root, the nerves, and then they can fix it up that way.
Right.
But again, if you take out the nerve, the problem goes away.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to take the whole tooth out.
You don't have to take out the whole tooth. You can fix it.
But it takes more effort and more time.
Oh yeah. Okay. But you can still do it.
Yeah.
Kulam heim al yedei ha'aras ha'moichin kayadua. All of that is through the ha'aras ha'moichin. In other words, when there's something called moichin the katnus, moichin the godless. When the person is in his moichin the katnus, he's not thinking clearly. He's mebalbal. There's a bilbul in his mind. So then he can't. But when he figures things out and he realizes Ashabach abana mikol ha'am, and he realizes that it's only the HaKadosh Baruch Hu that's there, that's going to help him, and he attributes all his problems to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So that is the hamtak of the din. Because when you realize that Hashem did, it's not this person that's causing me the pain. It's not that thing that's causing. No, it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu is behind it all.
Yeah.
So when we realize that alone is the hamtaka.
Yeah.
And that's the ha'aras ha'moichin.
He's doing it. Hashem does it, so you should realize that he's doing it.
Exactly. V'chol ma shemidin ha'moichin b'riba yoser. And the more that the person's mind he has more clarity in his mind, the more clarity he has. Ba'aratzuma yoser and talking about din and yoser. So much more can the din be mamtik. He can fix all the dinim. The more clarity he has, the more recognition he has, the more emunah pshuta that he has, is the more he can fix all the dinim in one's life. Now, Baal Kain, b'shas yitzias Mitzrayim, Aval pi shalei olu ad bechinas hadikna. Even though by Yetzias Mitzrayim we didn't come to this place of the 13 points of the dikna, shemisham hapidyon ha'elyon ha'koilo. That's the place of Ratzon that we said, and that's the place of where the pidyon goes because it transcends the 24 courthouses. The place of Ratzon transcends the lower courthouses. Right? Oh, look. Maybe we can understand like this. We have in America we have different courts, right? We have district courts, we have civil courts, and we have this courts and criminal courts and this court, many different courts, right? And then we have then they have the biggest court, which is the Supreme Court, right? So now people want to always get their case to go to the Supreme Court because they can the judges there can overrule all the other courthouses. Whatever they say. It's final. It overrules all the other courthouses.
Yeah, they hope.
No. If they can,
if they don't like what.
No, if they don't. Okay, but again, if they can get to the Supreme Court and they can get the Supreme Court to vote with them, so then it doesn't matter what all the other people say.
Right, of course.
So we'll learn. But where did they get that idea from? From here. This is the idea come from. There's a place of Ratzon which transcends all the other courthouses.
Yeah.
So if you can be mamtik yedin over there, so all the other ones mamela get fixed.
That came from Yisro because Yisro told Moshe,
Yes.
"Don't do it all.
You can't do it all.
Have different districts, and then the big thing will come to me.
Come to Moshe Rabbeinu. Excellent.
Moshe Rabbeinu is the Supreme Court.
Of course. No. Moshe Rabbeinu is the yes.
They got the idea from us.
That's right. V'aysa geula yedei bechinas esem v'arba minei pidyoines. Aval hoyin nimshachem bara nifla v'atzuma yedei oitzim ribay amoichin. Achnis batlu zumas Mitzrayim. But Hashem gave us this clarity. We know that the first night of Pesach we get a special clarity.
Yeah.
By the Seder we get a special clarity, and then it's taken away from us, and we have to work on it ourselves to get through Shruah, to get up to Shruahs. The first night Hashem gives it to us as a present. We have that Meichin the Godless on the night of Leil Seder. That's the Meichin the Godless. But right away after the Seder, it's taken away from us. Now we have to work Kiseder to get up to Shruahs through all of the different tikkunim that we have to make all through Shruah. Okay, now. Until we were able to be mevata, we had nullified the filth of Mitzrayim, and we were redeemed, and we were taken out from there. Therefore, chametz is also b'mashu when it comes to Pesach, because again we're not holding at that level that we can even process it properly. We're not holding at the level that we could process the chametz, that it shouldn't damage us. So therefore the Torah says no, you can't even have the chametz even b'mashu, because then it's damaging. It's damaging at that time. Because at that time you have to be mevar, you have to destroy it. You can't have it. It can't be bal yirah, bal yimatzah. Now Yud Beis ki chametz and matzah heim bechinas teva v'ashkacha. Chametz and matzah is the idea of teva and ashkacha. Chametz is going to be teva, and matzah is going to be ashkacha. Right? What's teva? Right, nature. Right, everyone thinks that this is the mother nature. They say, right? They say this is the way it is in the world. These things happen. That's teva. Yeah. It's like it happens. It happens. This is teva. Yeah. But then matzah is hashkacha. We realize that everything is hashkacha Hashem. Hakadosh Baruch Hu is running, controlling everything. That's matzah.
It's like the supervision. Well,
Hashem is supervising. Yeah. Hashem is the real mashkiach of the world.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Ki matzah bechinas hashkacha, because matzah is hashkacha. Bechinas man, bechinas lechem in hashemayim. Matzah was like the man, right? Was like the man, which is lechem in hashemayim, which is lechem that comes from up on high. Lechem neshmai kamei shomer b'sei nazal uga shehitziu Yisrael. Next page, please. Mitzrayim tamu bahem tamon. Look at that. The loaves that they took out of Mitzrayim.
Yeah.
They had the taste of man, which is interesting because we know the man had the taste of anything you wanted.
Yeah.
Ki ne'efes b'chipazim, because it was baked in a hurry, in a haste. Beli ribay tachbulois lahachmitz ulahatim ha'isa k'meisha oisim belechem chametz. They didn't have the time in order to figure, well, I'll put a little bit of more eggs in there, I need a little more flavor, I'll put a little salt, I'll put this, I'll put that. They didn't have that. They didn't have the time to strategize how we're going to make this be a tasty bread. They didn't have that time. They just had the dough and the water and the flour and the water, and it became a matzah on its own. Ki matzah bechinas bitochen. B'ashkachasa yizbarach. Matzah is bitochen. B'ashkachasa yizbarach. A person demonstrates. What's the difference between emunah and bitochen? Emunah is believing in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bitochen is demonstrating it. Demonstrating what you believe. Ki matzah bechinas bitochen b'ashkachasa yizbarach. I didn't have to do anything else. They didn't do anything else. They just put it in their sack. They put it on their back. They had to go, and they left, and they went. And then because it was on their back, and the sun was so strong, it baked it for them. Levad beli shum eisik umalacha. They weren't busy with it. They didn't make any malachas with it. They just had the dough. It baked on its own. They didn't do anything. We say that at the Seder too, right? Ugos matzos ki loy chametz. These were matzos that they didn't become chametz. V'gam Seder lo yasol lehem, and we didn't pack any provisions. Isn't that beautiful? We left Mitzrayim. We were going into the desert. V'gam Seder lo yasol lehem. We didn't take any provisions with us. We believed in Hashem. How much more did you believe in Hashem? Show it, demonstrating. Did you believe in Hashem when you're going to go out in the desert? You're going out to the desert and you don't take provisions.
Yeah, because it said it say the what the
it say the layasol lahem.
No, but Yosef when he sent the brothers, is it say the laderech?
Yes.
So then he gave them.
Yeah, okay.
That's the same. Well,
no, but normally when you go on a trip, you do seder ladera. You take along provisions. But part of the praise that we give the Jewish people when they left Mitzrayim, they didn't take those provisions with them.
Well, maybe because Yosef gave them the seder.
Yeah.
So now Hashem gave the Bnei Yisrael the seder.
Yeah, of course. Ugos matzos kiloi chametz. But Gam said, okay, abel chametz. Who bechinas teva? But chametz is a big chinah of teva, right? If any of your wives make challah, they'll tell you that they have to proof the yeast, and they have to proof this and proof that, and do this and that. It's amazing. It's a whole science.
Yeah, sure.
The mamish, a whole science. You get a chal. It'll be more fluffy if I do it like this. It'll have more taste if I add this. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Right, bechinas teva, because that's the way of teva. Bechinas dinim, shenim shachim bechinas elikim shehu begematria teva. Elikim, right? Elikim is the gematria of teva.
And again, teva means
means nature.
Nature.
It's just a natural way, right? If I take the yeast and I heat it, so then it'll make the dough rise. I'll proof the yeast, it'll make it rise. That's nature. But if it's a cold situation, it won't rise. That's nature. That's the way things are. Hateva kamuva misham kol tavis mammon. From this place of teva comes all the taiva of mammon. What's taiva of mammon? People want more and more money. They need more and more money. They're not happy with what they have. They need more and more money. Right? It says you have 100, you want 200. You have 200, you want 400. Right? That's what Zal tell us. Right? You're not happy with the money. Mechinas mikav ma'avel v'choymetz. Shebaim lidei gezelas lidei ribay taivas mammon. And chas v'shalom, people come, they need more money, they have to keep up with the Jones. Right? Yeah. So they'll wind up coming to steal from other people this in order to be able to get what they need, in order to show it all, to show up what they have. Shua yedei bechinas kefira shoimrim koichi v'oitzim yadi osali esachoyel azeh. Right? It says in Dvarim we read koichi v'oitzim yadi. It's my koyach. And v'oitzim yadi, I'm so crafty, I'm so clever to figure out how to do this. And because I made this investment, and I called this person, I did this deal, I did it like that, that's why I have this. Right? Umachmitzin hamayach kol yemeim eich lahasig mammon haydeiza siba betachbula. And the people are machmitz their minds. They make their minds a chametz. They are machmitz their minds all their days, trying to figure out how can I get more money. How can I get more money? B'tachbula ki'ilu haya b'koicham lazeh, as if it's in their will. In other words, they can figure out how to get more money because they're doing something. They'll get more money. It's really the opposite. Ki loy mi maitza umi marav. Ki elikim shayfet. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the real shayfet. It's not what we're doing. Hashem judges who's going to have what. And the main point of the teva and the din and the chametz comes from din. And where do we say din is coming from? When a person doesn't appreciate his birchas HaTorah, doesn't appreciate HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives him the privilege to have Torah, mitzvahs, and to do masim tovim. He doesn't appreciate that. So the opposite of that is I need more and I want more for me. What's the opposite of that? And that's where avodah zarah and kfira and heresy and all the things come from. Chas v'shalom. Aval mamtikin hadinim b'shleimus aydei pidyon ha'elyain ka'koilel. But when we can be mamtik the dinim by tapping into that place of Ravin, which is Metzach HaRotzen, which is the place of Rotzen, which transcends the 24 courthouses. Azayin is hapech midin midas hadin l'rachamim. So we could take the midas hadin and turn the midas hadin into rachamim. Was nichlal teva b'ashkocha, and then the teva will be included in the ashkocha. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu may do something for somebody. It may look like it's natural to disguise it as it's being something natural, but it's up to the person to recognize, to see how Hashem did this in such a nice way, and it was camouflaged within the confines of teva. But to recognize and say, no, that's really you, Hashem. I got it. I see it's you, Hashem. Bashkol b'chinas hu Hashem hu Elikim. Hashem hu Elikim. When do we say Hashem hu Elikim?
Yom Kippur.
On Yom Kippur we say that. It's the only time we say that Hashem hu Elikim 7 times. Right? We say Hashem hu Elikim. But when do we do that? By Nila. When we're finishing Nila, after the whole day that we took all the din of Yom Kippur and we were mamtik the din, then we could say Hashem hu Elikim. Yud Kei Vav Kei. What is Hashem hu Elikim? What does that mean? Yud Kei Vav Kei. Hashem is Yud Kei Vav Kei, which is the Shem of Chesed. Din is Elikim. Right, is all the din. So I'm saying Hashem hu Elikim. I realize Hashem, you Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei is really Elokim, is really the din. See, really we think that Hashem is in charge of all of the chesed, and Hashem does all the things of chesed, that's Yud Kei Vav Kei, and all the din is Elokim. No, but I can realize when I take away all the din, Hashem hu Elokim. Yud Kei Vav Kei is Elokim, it's the same thing. Like we say in Kriya Shema, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Hashem Elokeinu, Yud Kei Vav Kei is Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Ki zoichim le'emuna shleima shegam hanhagas hateva hu rak b'hashgachosa yizbarach rak she'ein anu mevinim derachav yizbarach. They realize that we could realize that all of the things of teva is really hashgacha, and because it's really hashgacha, and we realize that it's really only hashgacha, it's really coming from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that's the real true trick to be memamtik all the din, and to turn all the din into rachmim, when we understand that anything going on in our life is really coming me'ez Hashem. Hashem is ein noid milvadak, and by doing that, in Hashem, we should see the Gula Shlema b'meir of Yameinu.